All right, let's take a look at this one. What an advertisement as we log into this account. Camellia Rouge, fully activate Camellia's resonance chain. So why don't we go ahead and see what's in store on this bad boy? Let's take a look at it. All right, first one, we got a Cartia with 52k. And it looks like 6 sequence nodes that she needs to activate. Oh boy, oh boy. The R5 weapon is just sitting here. Okay, all right. Now let's take a look at the build. Ooh, that's pretty much a 5 out of 5. That's pretty much a 5 out of 5, ladies and gentlemen. That's also really, really good. A 4 out of 5 as well. That's a 21% critical damage. Okay, those are some solid ass pieces right off the rip. Hey, I mean, it's missing some HP subs, but it's still really damn good. It's got ER. We have a little bit too much ER on the character, if I'm frankly being honest. So maybe this is a piece that's worth replacing. And then we got the crit rate, HP, and the crit damage. Okay, so a fair number of the HP rolls over here. Some really, really solid ones. I see why it's so high. It's because of the boost from the weapon. That's what's making the HP so high. So yeah, I mean, we got a couple of sequence nodes to activate, right? This thing's absolutely gonna pretty much go rip some shit apart. Yeah, kind of crazy. So yeah, that's gonna be that one. I would say main pieces to maybe think about replacing here. It's going to be this one because I don't think you need the ER from this. And then the rest of the subs aren't that great and the crit is pretty low. This one has nice HP and high crit damage. It'd probably be this one. This would probably be the one that I replace first if I'm trying to hyper optimize it. That would be my take. What else we got over here? The Chacona. Okay, she has an ER that's good. 130 is really hard to get on Woodland Aria, so I can see why the crit stats are kind of suffering. This is a solid piece. You know, only 3 kind of okay subs. Basic attack isn't bad on Chacona. But yeah, the HP is not doing too much work there. Okay, what? Okay, this doesn't even have ER on it. Yeah, surely you can do better than this. Yeah, surely you can get a crit rate roll and do better than this. This doesn't even have an ER roll. But this, it'll just have to be the stopgap. You want, like, at some point, double crit with an ER, which can be really hard to get on a piece. And those are, like, kind of like the golden pieces for a Chacona to actually have for her builds. And then we got the double crit ER over here. Resonance skill isn't that great on Chacona, but it is what it is. And then we're missing crit rate on here as well. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Chacona does do a fair amount of damage. She is like a very high damage dealer. And unfortunately, right, we're kind of at the point where it's like, we could do better on Gust of Welcome. Yeah, there are a couple of pieces that we could definitely do better on and still maintain that ER bonus. Or that 130 ER.
You may foresee the future.
Oh, she's S2 as well. So, yeah, her personal damage is even higher, while her supporting ability is also really good. Now let's check out the Zodi. I see we don't want to make the game too easy, do we? Yeah, we don't want the game to be too easy. She's already too strong. Fair enough. Let's check out the build. Double crit ER, maxed out crit damage and crit rate rolls. Okay, buddy. Don't gotta shove it in our face like that. Ah, haha, but look at that Mineral Martin there on the 6.3% crit rate, but it's got a bunch of great usable subs. Then we got crit rate 9.3, crit damage 15, and then heavy attack 11.6 alongside it 8.6 liberation damage rolls. Solid stuff. And we're missing a crit rate roll on here, but we got a bunch of other great subs to make up for it. And then we basically got a 5 out of 5 piece over here. Only wish that was attack percentage. Yeah, I mean, her crit rate is a little bit low, right? It goes up to 66, and with Shorekeeper, you're at 78.5. So I guess with Shorekeeper, not that bad at all. But that's where Zani's S2 actually comes in, because she just gains a 20% crit rate boost, and that would put you at 86 before Shorekeeper, and 98.5 with her. So that's just something to think about. I mean, obviously, right, all you have to do is enable them, but I guess you don't want the game to be too simple. I bet you're a little bit too much of a gamer, I guess.
Today will be
now we got Phoebe.
Day.
Every time I see a Phoebe over here with, like, some amazing fucking crit ratio while also being on Moonlit Clouds is, like, depressing because, like, all this stuff, all this work that you're putting into grinding to get these substats is, like, functionally, like, you're getting so little back in return. I would just say it's almost better. I almost feel better about seeing a, like, bad crit ratio Phoebe when she's supporting Zani than a good one. Because all I can think is, damn, they spent a lot of tuners and shit on this and, like, okay, never mind. No, this is clearly somebody else's build. Wrong 3 costs? Nope, these are the right ones. Because it doesn't matter. All right, let's check out this one. Okay, what the fuck even is this? Why is her crit damage so low? Wait, she's on a crit rate forecast and only has 72. Yeah, this character is a fucking nightmare, bro. Yeah, I clearly see you had some issues building her. Wait, how does she only have 72? When you have a crit rate, you have 3 out of 5 crit rate rolls. You're just missing 2 of them, and she's at 72. What the fuck? Bro, there's something wrong with this unit. I swear, there is something wrong with this unit. From, like, a fundamental, like, building standpoint, she requires so much substat investment to be at, like, an optimal build. And, like, I cannot believe she's only at 72.6 with a crit rate forecast. I'm baffled. That's crazy. That's honestly crazy. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? You want to switch to a crit damage forecast and then, like, get more crit rate subs, but you got to have on average, like, 8 point something crit rate for her to actually give her full buffs without Shorekeeper, which is wild. It's actually wild. And you still want 130, 127 ER on her to be able to liberate every rotation. She's probably the most sub-stat hungry sub DPS in the game, and it's kind of nasty, to be honest. All right, now we got Carlotta with 106.8. If you're using her with Jedja, you shouldn't have too many issues. She also is going to be S6, so maybe she just doesn't need a second rotation. Ooh, you already know what I'm going to say. If she's going to be S6, get that crit damage forecast, buddy. What are we doing here? What is this shit? Where's the critical damage? I mean, surely we just roll a god piece right now. Yeah, surely we just roll a god piece right now. One more try. Okay. Another strong... Third time's the charm, right? Third time's the charm. It'll happen here. I guarantee it'll happen here. They baited so hard with this one. It was so close. It was so close, yet so far. Come on, man. Okay, another whopping gigantic 7.9. Ooh, the flat. Okay, now we just go double crit and call it a day. I mean, that's an ER roll. That's good. I bet it's double crit now. Anyways, so now moving on. That is what an S6 Carlotta build should be looking like, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. That's what an S6 Carlotta build should be looking like. You got that 12.5% that's going to be coming in over here. You know, that's going to be cool and everything. And then you're going to have the Shorekeeper with the other 12.5%. Bump her up. She's going to be at around, like, what? 78.9, and then, you know, the 366% crit damage. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be some solid stuff right there. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the best forecasts. That's one of the best forecasts you can have on the character, for frankly being honest. Yeah, we got the attack, the ER, the crit rate, kind of low critical damage, but, you know, 9.3% crit rate. You can't really complain too much about that one, right? Now let's move on. Okay, we got double crit over here. It's an okay piece. Could be better. You know, could have attack or resonance skill rolls. Could have attack percentage or... Wait, did I just roll the best echo on the Carlotta? Yeah, this one's really good. but mine's better. Yeah, we're missing a lot of resonance skill. I don't think we have a single resonance skill damage roll. So yeah, this is low key the best piece on the best piece on the set. Yeah, there we go. I mean, hey, no resonance skill damage rolls, but when we have an R2 weapon and S6 character, pretty sure it doesn't matter that. We also have the skin. This skin deals more damage. Yeah, that'll be that one. Now let's move on to the Chameleia.
Would you like a
She's
fun
S6 too,
game
but yeah, there's not a
between
single
the
crit
two
rate
of
roll to be
us?
found. The ER is nice though, 36% above base. Yeah, but the crit rate is a little bit low. Yeah, 7.5 looks to be our max. I would have to say, overall, I mean, it's an S6. It's an S6 Chameleia. It also has the ER to be able to consistently liberate every rotation and then, you know, actually get into the budding state. But you have a second ephemeral with Chameleia anyways, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, maybe more damage is better when you got the second ephemeral. So, yeah, that'll be the S6 Chameleia. I would say, I wouldn't really advertise this one on your page. Yeah, the build is, you know, you got other S6 characters with better builds. For example, I think your Cartithia's S6 is actually a little bit better than this one. Let me just do a quick little review of it. Good, but low rolls. Good, just good regardless. Little bit of a crit rate situation over here. Also a crit rate and a little bit too much ER situation over here. I would say this is a good piece to consider replacing if you ever want to upgrade it for more damage-oriented stuff, because Chameleia literally does not do these damage types. This one over here, we got double crit and ER, but it's also like, well, she does do liberation damage, but 136 is a little bit too much. She only needs 120. She only needs 120, so you have like 2 ER rolls that are sort of floating around, not really doing anything in this build. But yeah, but it is an S6 R5, so yeah, I don't think it matters too much. Now let's see what the Shorekeeper has. Where is her ER, Jonathan? I get it, but I still think Rejuvenating Glow is slightly better on her. I mean, yeah, maybe she's here to do DPS. Yeah. We grinded for this. We grinded hard for this. We put a lot of effort into this build. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to test this one out and see how it does, because I mean, I just out of sheer respect for the fact that you were willing to do this. Like, he managed to make a build with literally 0% crit rate. It's all HP and critical damage. I've got to see what it is.
The experiment begins.
All right, John Lee. I love how we're gonna S6 R5 characters, but he's still using Stonard. I don't even want to look at his build, to be honest. He's actually out here using an R5 BP weapon while every other character is S6 R5. That's actually funny. Okay, he's clearly getting table scraps. What's G-Jaw running? She's even Jedja has her fucking sig, bro. Okay, she's S3. So she got the crit rate built in. So this is actually like 61. But it's also like... Brother, is she actually running a plus 20 echo? I'm just going to leave it there because it's funny. I mean, it's an okay build. I mean, you're missing so much critical damage. It's crazy. Like, one's missing here. One's missing here. One's missing here. This is the only piece with critical damage, and it's 12.6%. So, yeah, not finished. I think it's a far way away from finish. But at least you have 130 ER. That's the silver lining here. All right, now let's take a look at the Xiangli.
By ingenuity.
Yeah, the build is a little bit interesting. You definitely want to crit damage Glizzy Rider on the Nightmare version. Yeah, maybe when Lupa comes back in, or really, you don't even have Brant, so I guess you hate this character. Yeah, you hate this character if you don't have Brant, especially considering the budget you have for other units. Yeah, you hate Xiangli. You have Brant? Anyways, so yeah, I would say Nightmare Inferno Rider is definitely what you want to be looking at here for like an upgrade, because you got that built-in 25% crit rate on Xiangli's S2, and you're at 60-something right now. However, that does lead me to believe, damn, you need some crit rate on this Echo. This one's okay. Low rolls on the crit, though. Okay, but low rolls on the crit. And okay, but Low rolls on the crit. that's the Xiangli. Okay, but low rolls on the crit. That's my summary of it. I think that was a 6.9, 13.8 on every single one. So that's that. Now let's see the
May I
Jinhsi.
pray for anything specific for you? It would be my
Got her
honor.
S1, but we're missing crit rate on this piece, and then the lowest in-class crit damage, but it does have the 3 damage type she wants. Pretty okay, but low roll on the crit rate. While also missing crit rate, right? Actually nice, but you do want an attack 3 cost. Maybe replace this, I don't know. Yeah, maybe keep these for now and then replace them later at some point if you're trying to optimize the build. But yeah, Jinhsi usually wants 1 attack 3 cost and then 1 regular. Okay, this has got to be the most copium 1 cost I've ever seen in my life. What is even going on here? Okay, like what is this thing? I guess this one's slightly better, but it's also a little bit cope as well. Yeah, the 1 costs on this build are kind of suspect, and obviously, right, so is the 4 cost. So yeah, Jinhsi's just, I mean, you can probably tell her stats don't look like amazing. Yeah, she's kind of bad. She'll still clear. It might take you a couple resets, but yeah, she's pretty bad. Yeah, I'm not even gonna mince words. Yeah, it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10.
No rush. The impatient ones will fall right into our lap.
I don't even want to look at this character.
Hopefully.
Verina's
we'll make
good.
new
Yeah, she got the
friends.
247 ER. And I guess that's kind of like, yeah, you're still leveling the Cantarella. You're still leveling the Cantarella, and you're still leveling the Brant.
To
Where's your
which stage
Gian?
will life guide us next?
Wait, where's your Gian? Wait, that character's really good. Where is he? So many to build? Yeah, there's only 1 character you should be building though, and that's you don't even have the character. Well, that's a little lame. All right, but yeah, as you can see, a lot of good builds on the account, but then a couple of other ones that are a little bit suspect, if we're frankly being honest. One thing I do want to do is actually see the power of this DPS Shorekeeper. And so we're going to have to do a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen, to actually get that going. All right, come on, just fucking... Whee! Yeah, honestly, that looks like they need to fix the animation on that because it looks like we straight up broke our neck. All right, guys, so we're going to have to try to think about some sort of way to optimize the damage that is happening here, right? We got to think about some sort of way to do it. And what other way than to put Verina on the team as well? And then have the last character be a John Shin. So it's going to be Shorekeeper, Verina, John Shin, right? Verina buffs attack. Verina has Verina has spectral resistance, I think, or a spectral damage.
Hopefully, we'll make
She's
new
S6.
findings.
Yeah, spectral damage bonus 15%. But Spectral Rover reduces Spectral Res. Yeah, maybe Spectral Rover will be better. Yeah, let's oh, but Verina's gonna have the turtle. Wait, we can put Spectral Rover on the turtle. Okay, guys, we're gonna be doing some crazy builds over here. All right, Shorekeeper substat set Verina. We're just gonna put this shit on here, and then we're gonna replace the Fallacy of No Return with a turtle, and then we're gonna have John Shin over here, and she's instead gonna be holding a Moonlit Cloud set. And with the power of the turtle and the heron, we're gonna be fucking some shit up. Here we go. I know there's gonna be some resistance, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. And let's just see how much this thing nukes.
The feeling of pain.
Strike from the chest.
Transform.
Oh my god.
Raft you knew.
Swift and hopefully this helps.
Banish all vice. She lasts evermore.
All right, you ready, Shorekeeper? It's time for one big boom.
From the soul.
That's so bad. Yeah, yeah, this is the most useless shit I've ever seen. Anyways, that's gonna be our demo for the day. Yeah, there's... Bro, I'm sorry that
Understood.
you farmed so
I am
much for
here
this
to
build,
serve
because
your
like the
will.
build is cracked and everything. I feel like it's pretty cool, and then like she just did like that little damage. It's like we're out here, we're working this hard. We like chained together all the intros, and then like it proceeded to deal like that much damage. Like, bro, you had to do that. If you're gonna use her to clear, you're gonna have to do that like 5 times. You gotta do that like 5 or 6 times to clear. Good God. All right, that'll be that for this one. As you all saw, that was a very fun time. Yeah, hey, maybe if the weapon's R5, it'll do better. If you get her weapon R5, I'll test it again, buddy. All right, I think that'll be it for this one, though, ladies and gents. Let me know what you all thought about this account. Pretty good progress for a whale. I would have to say the rating for this one, Rover equals best waifu. I would say probably like a solid 8.5. Yeah, I think I call it an 8.5. Actually, no, I'm bumping it down. I'm bumping it down 2 points because it doesn't have a G on. Yeah, work on your roster building, buddy. Anyways, that'll be that for this one. Let me know what you all think. Peace.